Hey guys, it's Tarkin coming at you with another game of Total Warhammer 3, and we're about to go to war with Mazda Mundi here. We should actually give this Strider ability to Yonbo. That will be very handy for him. And yeah, so we're just prosecuting the battle here just for a little bit of perspective what's going on in the battle on the campaign map. You know, we've got our area here, and then wars with Itza and such over in this direction. You know, we're just trying to dissuade them from coming in here. And, you know, we've got a little bit of a garrison there, and that's what's going on in the south. We're military allies with Wolfheart, and Rakarth is not declared on us yet. But, you know, things are going okay for the now. And another Jade Lance, or a Jade Lancer building. Definitely want to grab that. And, you know, we're starting to get to a point where we can start recruiting some more interesting type of units to the army. And now, so our armies are a little beat up because we've been fighting so much, and we might have to fight one right after this, right? But these two armies together, I bet we can beat them even after we're beat up. Because that one, well, you know, we'll see. We'll certainly see. If we beat all of them, then, you know, we'll be in a good spot. Now, they've got, you know, Razordons and Salamanders, Chameleon Stalkers, Basties, and Blessed Basties. It's a lot of nastiness. Plus Lord Mazda himself. Of course, we have, you know, tools of our own. We'll just try to jump something. We'll try to jump something. These guys are small anyway, so the trees are no worry. And they've got spotting, so they'll be able to see, you know, the chameleons wherever they happen to be. Bastie's only got 240 range, so that's not the end of the world. We could sort of set up in the trees a little bit. No, not important. We just need to make sure that our front line is front wide enough. Yeah, we'll keep a little bit of mass here in front of the Iron Hails. Because we only have one Iron Hail and one Grenadier and 3 Archers, which is not that few of a thing, but it's not like a ton either. Now, you know, the initial charge is going to be rough, and we're going to take big hits. But then we're going to have a reinforcing army in just a minute 50. Can we get it like over here? 4 minutes, yeah. If we go there, then we don't need to worry about this flank really, and we can push up in this direction most of the time. Yeah, I like that. And like, if he thinks he can force me to go to him, he can't. Like, he doesn't have the power. And I have reinforcements coming. See, he has, like, this huge, wide army because he gets the garrison on the field, too. Man, if only I had a life caster. I don't think Cathay gets access. But yeah, you know, Mazda, he's a scary spellcaster all his own. But I'm a dragon. Alright, they are waking up. I'm like, I'll just wait. Like, I literally don't care. Ain't too proud. Because once my other army comes in, I'll just put them on this whole other side, and then we'll push in like a wave upon the sea. I don't have any artillery. I don't have any ability to force the battle, so... I mean, we do have Comet. No, we don't have Comet. We didn't even get it. That's right. We're going to pop this staff real quick. Just for the reserve power and everything. Because we'll just get, like, a ton of wins. I guess they will, too. What's the worst that'll happen? Banishments on my positions that I won't notice? I mean, that seems pretty bad. Because he's just, like, jogging there. Like, he wants me to run into his arty and take shots. I don't want to, though. And I'm not going to. There we go. Here's our guys. Alright, this dude is on horseback now, so we just need to make sure to take that away from him soon. We can, if we just move all these guys into the trees, just all of them into the trees, then, you know, their monsters and stuff won't be so bad. Now, we'll be able to deal with all of the nastiness that they'll be able to bring to bear? Unsure. Probably not. But we'll be able to rear charge with the crowmen quite efficiently. Because, like, I'm Yonbo. I think I'm just gonna go in on a Basti, right? Because what's the worst that'll happen? I'll die? Sure. Mazda only does 500 weapon strength, and it's mainly bonus for infantry anyway. Wish I had a breath attack. It's like, maybe I should just go human form and duel these fools. I'm a dragon. I do 1,000,000 damage. Free chunks of damage there, because again, like, I literally don't care. They're not gonna bully me into advancing into their artillery and stuff. Oh, this guy's got blinded on his shots. That is terrible. Oh man, that's super rough. Anyway, we're just gonna dive on this Basti and see what happens. Maybe their whole army is going to attack me and I'll die. Alright, we gotta get out of here. This was a very dumb idea. Man, they blobbed way more than I'm used to seeing an army blob. And I have no way to punish it at all. But hey, we're up in the air, and that means no harm at all. We got some damage on the Basties. We're damaged a bit, but of course we regenerate. Doesn't hurt anything. Alright, so... how do we... like, I just... Are they not gonna give battle? Because, like, I'll try to make them. I just don't want to charge across the field into artillery. I hate doing that. I just don't have any artillery, so I can't do a different thing myself. But I think we should be able to wind blast them in, because I'll be able to do 20 of these. They'll have to attack. They'll have to. No army can just absorb 20 wind blasts. Yeah, they'll have to attack. We'll be able to pop their whole army if they don't. It's Yanbo not being a wizard in the air that runs us into the trouble, of course. That wasn't, like, a good cast, but it still did, like, a ton of damage to a bunch of guys. And they're like, I literally don't care. Like, I just want them to attack so that I can fight. I just don't want to charge across the battlefield. That's a good one. Because between the armies, you know, we could do a whole lot of wind blasting before the lines meet, which I should have been doing this whole time. No, we've been building the winds. And the Jade amulet gives us reserves constantly. That's right, because that item is amazing. So really, the longer they wait, the dumber they are. The more lizard-brained. And we're just gonna try to, you know, duo wizard the front here. It's gonna severely test my micro, and by test I mean it's going to be like, oh, you can't micro this. You're bad. Alright, so we want armor and extrovert charge defense. Bang on the drum. And we're just going to go to human form here with Yanbo. That way he'll be able to just rip into these red cresty boys. And be less of a big target. We're just gonna throw this ward save on the long spears. Because these grenadiers are... Oh my goodness, no, they're gonna hurt me so bad. Okay, grenadiers need to be like on the flank or something. Or maybe that was the charge damage happening. Alright, we're gonna turn right here. And grenadier in here, please work. Alright, at least the Iron Hail Gunners are shooting somebody. Archers are shooting somebody. We just need to get our main bump and grind going on here. A good wind blast here will help a lot. A good wind blast here will help a lot. Oh man, Mazda is just trucking. Our whole back line is crumbling because, of course, it's just archers over here. So how do we recover? We'll just flank around to the end, right? Oh, right, because also, I forgot all about the Air Force. Fortunately, we're in the trees, which is going to protect a lot of us from these bad choices. And then we're just going to put in Yanbo on Mazda Mundi, even though he's in, like, human form. And Mazda's got that bonus, because I bet on balance it'll be fine. Yeah, and now we're going to be able to, yeah, there we go. You know, it's not going great. It's not going so bad. We're going to pop our leadership buff here, let people keep on fighting. All right, who's the worst fighting thing here that we want to help? Right here, these peasant archers, you know, they're getting beat on pretty rough. All right, we've got this caster over here. Alright, those skinks are gone. Yonbo is charging around, just having a time. Let's use Executioner. Well, it won't work though, but it'll at least do a bunch of damage. And you know, a big old nuke is fine. And we'll hit like a burning gaze on him if it'll let us. It won't. All right, it's okay. Nangao Grenadiers coming on in. Oh right, they were on guard mode. Terrible, terrible stuff. Alright, this Basti is getting trucked on. This one is in full route. Nope, this one is still with us. Alright. We're going to put that group on the Razordons, this group on this Basti. Oh, wait, no, we need to go in here and roar. And get like a leadership baller destruction and doom. Oh, we don't want to be diving a Basti with their anti-infantry. That's right. So, you know, Croman, not a good choice there. We should have been... Boom. And then we hit the ITP removal. We hit this Wind Blast in the front. Mazda is very injured. We just need to keep on stuck on him. This dude, we weren't using his ability. The drum is, you know, at least the drum is drumming. Anyway, our reinforcing army, of course, getting shredded. Just very, very badly beaten. And oh no, the wizard getting nearly killed. Oh right, because this whole army is like distracted doing something. Right, geniuses. Anyway, so this is like a great example of how to lose focus and play poorly when it all matters the most. So these trees, they didn't really work. I mean, they might have saved us some archer fire, but really what they did was render me unable to see what's going on. Which, would I have played better with vision? No, probably not. I'm very bad. But this guy will probably live with 176 hit points. Heroes don't usually die unless they properly get eliminated fully on the battlefield. Now, we don't need to chase him down because this is a settlement battle that they are reinforcing. And man, that was ugly. That was truly very bad indeed. Just a very poor performance. And we have another battle right on the heels of it coming up. Yeah, very, very bad. At least the next battle won't have Mazda in it. And, yeah, like, yeah, maybe with a little lower troop quality, and if I get higher visibility and better armies. Because I just put my other reinforcing army in a line, and, well, you see what happened to them. Which is that they got hundreds of kills. The Peasant Spears did well, and the Peasant Archers didn't do anything because I let them get compromised and they were fighting in trees. Here, our ranged corps does nothing. Yeah, the only people getting value is Yonbo and the Wizard. Our Air Force is useless. These guys got 193 kills somehow. It was probably in the mop-up. They get assigned them. Alright, so we occupy this. And get the Dune Dragons. The Celestial Dragon Guard and the Grace of Kuai Yin. So Celestial Dragon Crossbows and Celestial Dragon Guard halberds, which are very, very good units. But, like, do we slot them into this army? Like, do we put him in here? Because we can... I mean, we could. That actually, a lot of times it makes more sense to put your cool stuff into a reinforcing army. Alright, so here, if we put the peasants together, and the peasants together, and them together, we can get these three. And, you know, if they don't attack, like, right away, then this one turn of replenishment is going to be plenty to make me feel very comfy. Alright, and here we want to get, first of all... Where's our crowman? Okay, so this will give us missile-resistant leadership. Yeah, totally worth it. Because all of these crowmen are gonna be at that level soon, and then they'll go to, you know, 20 Phys 15 missile. That'll make them a lot hardier, especially if we do like a bad dive. When we do a bad dive. We'll take a little vortex thing here. And we need to get him off of the warhorse, because it's bad. And we get another Jade amulet, which I don't want to lose is the thing. Because it's like, this guy... We don't want to give the Jade amulet to an army that might be dying, because, like, it's really good. Just give it to him anyway, I guess. And then we'll burn these Scepters of Stability together. And get a Trickster Shard, which is, like, you know, whatever. But making their magic cost more is, like, theoretically a little bit fine. Because basically any item that gives you wins repeatedly is very good. We get the Great Moonbird at 13, so that'll be nice. I guess the compass sort of makes sense too if you like have a wizard with an army, because then you get the compass plus your wizard if you're just sitting still. But most of the time, of course, people elect to go for... speed on a wizard, because repositioning tends to be the most valuable quality that you can have access to. But all right, we get Port Reaver. Another nice port, another nice chunk of money, and of course our army upkeep swings very wildly depending on whether or not we're at home and whether or not we have harmony. Because Jan Bo's army, it says it's 1,600, but it's more than that, you know. It's all of this stuff is very, very cheap right now because of the various faction effects. We'll just build a wall. The Stickney and Tepchik, because... What? What? No! No, no, no. No. Ridiculous. Anyway, we're not having that. I don't know what's going on there, but we're not having that. I'm not letting this game rob me of my army because I don't know where to put it. Do I have movement left with them? Because we're right here. You know, like... Okay, there we go. And we can't auto-resolve it because obvious reasons. Alright. So this is going to be really rough. Well, you know. Yeah, really, really rough. Super rough. Hey, we got a choke point battle at least. Do we have the ability to really punish choke point battle? Not exactly, but we might be okay. So they're both right there, so if we just, you know... And the almost entirely dead wizard in the back. And they're going to try to get reinforced. And they're going to try to get reinforced. Well, I don't care. I'll wait. Hey, we got our Ancestral Warrior summon. Because we're fighting in Cathay Land. But anyway, you know, they're going to arrive, I'm going to arrive. And now it's time to get this nightmare going. Yeah, now that I have Chain Lightning, you know, this will be better in, like, the short run, but this will definitely... The Chain Lightning will definitely help us out, you know. Let me pop the Skirmishers a good bit there. Because as soon as they go into one of these little tunnels, then we're just going to light them all the way up. But of course, we do want to get them into one and not the other. We very much want them to be fighting here and not in the other one. Boom, baby. Oh no, what? No, what? Oh, those are the garrisons from the place. I thought one of my attack orders was being interpreted that way. Now it's about to be a sad panda. We're just going to drop our summon onto that Bastion in the back. These Chameleon Stalkers just roll in and absolutely give us the business. Terrible, terrible stuff. Iron Hails are opening up. Celestial Guard. Yeah, you know, it's actually good. They're going to be able to shoot just as people get in, and that'll be useful, maybe. We're going to drop Chain Lightning on top of the blob and then retreat back through it, because we're very smart. The Grenadiers are under attack. Feels real bad. All right, we just need to get our monster core in here. Where's the wizard? Please say he's alive. He's alive. Oh man, these archers weren't engaged at all. These archers are, though, so at least there's that. And we are tied up with Yonbo back here in the back like an absolute moron. And the unit of summoned things got wiped out, which is, you know, fine. But, alright, so here we just want to drop another huge chain lightning on the center blob again. You know, not having a bunch of our archers shooting for an extended period of time, very bad. Not necessarily fatal, however, so we'll see how it goes. That's right, I forgot to have one of the drums beating, which feels pretty bad. Alright, we're just going to go in here. This dude is not like a fighter, but it'll last for a little while, hopefully. Alright, so here. Wind Blast. Chain Lightning. And then he'll go and run off into the Shadow Realm again. And now all the archers are shooting into this Croxy Ancient, which is just where he doesn't want to be. Doing guard, doing wonderfully. Our leader for the Celestial General, he's en route, you know, in routing formation. You know, I will say this about Cathay, you know, we don't really seem to run, right? Of course, the problem is neither do they. And we nuke both of their commanders in one amazing run. Oh, and the third one's coming in too, you know. He's not going to make it either. We're going to escort this one off of the battlefield. We're going to move the Grenadiers up here. Should have been using that all along. You know, when you have really good buffs and you don't use them, and then your army gets beat up, you know, what can you do? This dude getting nuked, just absolutely dunked on by the Celestial Dragon crossbows, who are awesome. I definitely want to be using them, not peasants, in my armies someday. The thing is, too, is that this was sort of like a long run for them. Are Crowmen gonna crumble? Nope, nope, nope. We'll live. We'll live. Don't really have, like, a good way to run anybody down. Alright, so we just need to focus right now on the problems on the map that we can solve. Basties. It says the unit's been wiped out. Maybe the crowman died. See, that really stinks. But hey, what are you gonna do? You know, maybe 5 flyers in this army was too many anyway, and a little bit more of a front line would be called for. Anyway, it all works out just fine, and we win. You know, at what cost? I mean, a lot, but we still got our dudes. 2,000 kills, 2,000 value, 150 kills. Good stuff. And, you know, we very much had to win all of these fights because, man, just, you know, the army was beat up in the first place, but it really looks like we got beaten up pretty bad. 1,700 value on there. Man, oh, man. So we lose a Crowman and a Jade Warrior and a couple of peasants there, you know, rough stuff. Bordello wants military access, which we will certainly give him. We want to get him involved with these problems. All right, here we're going to pay them to repel the danger, because this caravan, you know, it's hanging together by a thread. And Duanmu. I don't know how to say it. He gets his Longma, which is armored, armor piercing, and of course he does have Strider. So that'll be pretty nice. All right, so we can get 360 missile block and a really good shield armor for the army. Way better attack strength. Or flanker, charge bonus, strider speed. Man, all of these are pretty good. I think the missile block, the armor, the army... No, him being like a good duelist, I think is fine too. Yeah, we'll give him the power, you know. Cathay doesn't have like a duelist hero, so, you know, that'll be our excuse. Alright, so what we'll do now is we will just take the good stuff from this army. Take all of it? Yeah. Alright, because right now... Like, do we want the war drum? I guess that's really the only true question. Nah, we'll leave him with the war drum. That means we'll just exchange an archer for this. I don't know if the Nenkao Grenadiers are good at all. I just want to believe, you know. I very much want to believe. Alright, so now This guy gets his chain lightning upgrade, which will make it cheaper, which is so good. You know, without the wizards in that last fight, it would have been very, very rough fare indeed for us. But you know, this Gatemaster guy, is there any point to him being in this army at all? He gives us better stuff for those people that aren't even in it. He's got buffs. Yeah, I just think the war drum's better than that. I mean, I guess he shoots sometimes. I don't know. Anyway, let's get to it. It's a few more levels till we get any more regiments of renown, and these guys are very beat up, all the way on the back foot, and Jan Bo can probably solo all of them. Probably. So what we can do with our secondary army is loop back around to one of those places that we'd sort of overlooked on the push up, and then keep using Yonbo to push towards Hexy, because now all of their armies are toast. We will have beaten like 5 or 7 armies in the last couple of turns. And that means we should be in roughly a good position. It's like, oh, they have like a skink chief for their lord, so he's stealthed. Well, that won't help him against me. And these guys all rampage. Nobody knows why. Army ability to spawn an enemy unit where? I don't know where. We're just gonna dive in on the rationale that I bet we can get away with it. And the Feral Audacity getting absolutely trucked on here. Of course, so too is Yonbo, but unlike them, I can put myself back together again. Croxy Ancient, it does have armor piercing, but you know, it wants to be fighting against infantry-sized characters. 41 bonus versus infantry? Jeez Louise. Pretty good. Wind Blast kinda hitting my own troops a lot. And of course, you can't run from Yonbo. Oh, it's the Skink Priest avatar. Well, you don't need to fight the Skink Priest avatar. I was like, what was hitting us there? The Basti. We smoke bomb him. We hit him with the roar. We should be able to get a terror route, like, quick here, right? One would assume. One would. And then we're going to drop this chain lightning right in the middle of the skirmishers. It does so much damage. It does so much damage. It pulls them all in. Sword of Spears, no shields, getting absolutely trucked on by the fire from the reverse. These Jade Warriors getting beat on quite terribly by a Basti without any support at all. You know, they're doing alright. And look at us without our drum on again. Man, I'm so bad at this game. You know, they don't let you set the drum before the battle, and then that's like the last time I think about things. Oh my goodness. Get that bird out of there. We're gonna nuke him, and that should put him down into fatal range. There we go. Oh, it's probably this missile specialist shooting me the whole time. These guys run out of their missiles quick. Oh, they shoot 2 shots of volley. And there's our roar, removing the ITP. I guess it didn't remove it. Thought it did. Maybe we weren't close enough. Man, Yonbo. I keep treating him like he's stronger than he is. And just running him in totally unsupported like he's like a godlike melee fighter. Which he's very strong, but he's like, he's not that good yet. Anyway, we just need to fast forward so that he can regenerate his hit points. And I don't think they'll be able to retreat like at all from this, I think. You know. That'll knock him out pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, not a good showing. These Celestial Dragon Guard getting absolutely destroyed. I guess they just took artillery fire. Because there's not really anything on this map that should be able to do 7,000 points of damage to them while they don't do any damage unless they just weren't engaged in combat because I'm bad, which is what was going on. I think these Grenadiers are a trap and I'll never get value out of them, and another Iron Hail Gunner would just be better. But importantly, you know, we don't have that many losses, not that many, mainly just Our elite infantry. Alright, and they all get popped. Alright, well. I actually don't have time to do this fight right now. But yeah, when we come back, we're just going to, I guess, just push right up the center and grab Hexawaddle. Seems like the thing to do. You know, our southern flank is not secure, but it's just fighting Marcus, and Marcus hasn't lost the war yet. And this person, see, they're at war with Ruckharth and me, and if they want to, like, have a fight here, I don't think they do, because, you know, they've got 12, and I have 18. 20. But we're getting access to slightly better stuff in our armies now, whether or not we're getting it, you know. Because even just the Jade Warrior crossbows, like, I would love to have them in the army. The peasants might actually do more damage. Because the peasants have more units in the model. More models in the unit. But anyway, I'm not going to level up and stuff yet. No, we might as well. But yeah, so that'll be the end of this video. You know, it's just a shorter one today. I gotta get on with my... Hey, stand your ground. No. Let's just move up to judge, jury, and executioner here. Speed seems very good for him since he's not the fastest dragon. Do we just salvage this for money? Yeah, we're never going to use that map. There we go. Anyway, yeah, when we return, we'll tech Hexawaddle, and yeah. And that will be one of the 4 regions that we need to take. I don't know if I have to, like, hold on to it once the building is built. Right? I do know that this garrison doesn't seem like it'll be too much of a problem, you know. We'll just do what we normally do. Break in, attack the walls, etc., etc. Of course, we don't have a fully healed up army, but you don't want to give them one more turn to do anything, right? I mean, it might actually be fine to give them 1 turn, but we don't want to do it. Because we could just move up here and take Ziggurat with this army. Force march over to Skeggy. Yeah, there's a lot of battlefield tactical stuff to worry about, and then of course also the macro level. But right now, that's all I've got. The man is Yonbo, the Jade Court is the faction, and you know, everything's going pretty good for us. So far things are going well. We're prosecuting this war well in the north. You know, it's hasn't taken over everything here, and as long as they are still fighting with Ruckharth here, because with our armies here, we can probably dissuade them from trying to move in anywhere else into our land, probably. And with a 20 stack against 12, we might even be able to win a somewhat fair fight. Yeah, they got a bunch of skinks in there. We could beat them. 2 peasant spears for every Saurus, 1 archer to shoot them. We'll be fine. Anyway, that's all I've got for you right now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Really hope you've enjoyed this episode of Total Warhammer. And, you know, and if you're watching in the future, I hope the weather's nice. I'll be back around. But that is all that I have for you today. See you guys.